Welcome, everybody, in another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. If you're enjoying your day, sweet. If not, what the hell ever. So, it is time for yet another Saturday Morning Slam review. I know it's not everybody's favorite thing, and I have to say the same thing because I'm getting tortured by watching this, but I gotta endure because there's still 5 months left worth of content for this show to finally go through. And by show, I mean Saturday Morning Slam, not the podcast, but it's time for November 24, 2012, the final episode of the month of November. Let's cut into this one, because it's the Saturday Morning Slam after Thanksgiving, and right away, we're getting an opening contest. El Local, a.k.a. Ricardo Rodriguez, versus Justin Gabriel, who the crowd does not react to. Not surprised. And you got R-Truth on commentary with Josh Matthews, better than Santino Marella. So, it's a fast-paced match. You gotta expect it. I mean, I think the weird thing is seeing Ricardo Rodriguez actually wrestle, even though he's under the mask, but to see him actually being agile in the ring and everything, and doing something other than saying, Alberto Barrito, or whatever the fuck he's saying in the introduction, is rather surprising. I mean, they're trading pin attempts, and then constantly working on each other's arms, because you can't go with the head, because not G-rated. Uh-oh. The one thing I can say was impressive here was that Justin Gabriel, he got launched to the outside, and he did that skin the cat, but instead of, like, facing the ropes and everything when he was leaning upwards, it was kind of like his back was to the ropes. That way he could get up and do a victory roll, got a near fall. And then we get the dreaded camera cut in here because El Local gets a, kind of like a tilt-a-whirl front slam. Like, he's got him up in the tilt-a-whirl and then just, like, drops him. And they miss the shot, so it's just like, oh, great. The camera cut is back in action. You get also a little bit of a botch. Justin Gabriel tries going for a monkey flip. Doesn't get all of it, because El Local doesn't fully flip through, but Gabriel recovers. He got a flying shoulder block off Brett's rope. Yay. And in the end, you get another botch, because Justin Gabriel, he gets a springboard moonsault reverse DDT from the second rope, but you can tell with the camera cut that something didn't go right, so they either were stumbling around or had to redo it. Because it's like, as soon as he grabbed onto El Local from leaping in the air, they show another camera angle of them actually making the full impact. And they did the same thing during the replay. So it's like, yeah, something went wrong, eh? So, I mean, fine match, but crowd just wasn't really that active. Now you get to the third degree, the interview segment. And what question do the superstars get this week? What are you thankful this year for Thanksgiving? Oh, God. Don't tell me they're going to do the same thing when it comes to Christmas time, saying, what do you want Santa to bring you down the chimney? Hey, Santa Claus, I know this is coming out around June or July or whatever, but what I want for Christmas is a nice fucking slutty hoe. Can you do that for me? I mean, you're all about hoes and you got Mrs. Claus around there on the North Pole and you only come once a year, so give her to me, why don't you? So, what is everybody thankful for Thanksgiving? Eve? Family, friends. Yawn. Drew McIntyre. I'm happy for 3MB. So, whatever. David Otunga, he gives the exact same answer with no charisma as Eve Torres, saying, oh, I'm happy to be with my friends and family. Yawn. Santino Marella, he's glad to have companionship with the Cobra. Yeah, I wonder how many times that Cobra's been down your pants. Mick Foley, he's got 3 different answers that get cut into here. He's about having great hair. I mean, you couldn't say the same thing in 2000 when he became the commissioner. 1 ear. And a winning smile. Yeah, with a bunch of gaps in there. And then Dolph Ziggler, he's thankful for being full of himself. Oh, I'm a great speller. I'm the greatest athlete. You should all be thankful that I'm here. Yeah, I'm sure management says the same thing when they need somebody as an enhancement talent on your roster. Now we get a peculiar thing here, because The Miz hosts a pie-eating contest between R-Truth, Santino Marella, and Zack Ryder. And R-Truth, of course, he needs a seat for Lil Jimmy. And around this time, I know this was pre-taped and everything, like a bit in advance, but of course The Miz on television is babyface, because before Survivor Series is when he joined Team Kofi, or whatever fucking team it was. So he's pretty much babyface here. And the whole rule is 1 minute time limit, most pie seat wins. And I noticed for some reason, whatever logo The Miz has on the back of his case cover got censored when he was trying to hit the timer and everything. So everybody's eating pies, like, and it looks like everybody's been taking part in a bukkake because they got white shit all over their faces. And Santino wins, and he does that cringeworthy trombone celebration, which I hate that. I hate it. And he still does it like, yay, I won, send them my gun. And so, since Zack Ryder and R-Truth aren't happy, they take pies and shove them to the sides of his head. And that's when The Miz is like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. Leaves, and we get a big food fight between all 3 men with stuffing and cranberry sauce and all that. So then this, for some reason, brings in Brodus Clay and the Funkadactyls. Like, hey, you can't have a party without the Funkasaurus. And the girls are trying pie, and then for some reason this leads to Santino convulsing and completely passing out after hitting the table. So, I don't know, did he go into a diabetic coma or something? Can somebody give me an answer on that? I really don't know. He just shook, collapsed, boom. Okay, I mean, he's still alive, so I don't give a shit. Then we get to the main event. The Usos versus 3MB. 3MB in this case being Jinder Mahal and Heath Slater, so McIntyre is at ringside. And for some reason, Heath Slater has eyeliner on. Unless you're part of an emo band, dude, instead of a lame-ass, cheap rock band, like a Guns N' Roses knockoff, don't put on eyeliner. Okay? That doesn't work. So, not a whole lot of action's going on at first. It's just like a bunch of showboating. The Usos are even having fun, like, doing a whole moonwalk in and like, oh, we can do the wave or whatever with our arms. We can dance and shit. So 3MB tries attacking them. They get dumped over the top ropes, and then the Usos hit diving planches to Slater and Jinder on the outside. Okay, that's something. Then you get back to the match. Jinder's got an abdominal stretch on Jimmy. I didn't know it was even Jimmy until they said in the commentary, because remember, this was back before they did the whole face paint thing and having any kind of differentiating on who was who. I mean, you can tell who is who now between Jimmy and Jay, but back then you couldn't tell unless they were like face paint and shit. But Jinder, he's got abdominal stretch on Jimmy, and he's doing that whole cheating technique where he grabs his hand so like an extra stretch there behind the referee's back. Who gives a shit? Then Slater, he gets into the match. He's trying to keep Jimmy from tagging in his brother, but that doesn't work. So Jay gets tagged in. It's the whole House of Fire thing, and he's got Heath in the corner, and he's about to do Umaga's running corner hip attack. And what do we get again? Camera cut. So we can't see ass to face. But yeah, we can see Naomi doing that on a constant basis. I don't get it. So then you get to the ending of the match. Jimmy takes out Jinder when he gets involved in the match. Jade's going up top. He's trying to get ready for the Uso splash, and Drew actually gets on top and pulls down Jade just a slight bit. And that was enough of a distraction to where Heath runs up and gets an avalanche belly-to-belly suplex on Jay off the top rope for the surprise victory. Yes, you heard me right. 3MB wins a tag match on Saturday Morning Slam over the Usos. I don't know why. And a weird side note, post-match, like they're doing the whole, yeah, we won celebration thing, and Drew is laying there on the canvas, and instead of looking like he's playing air guitar, it looks like he's scratching his crotch. It's like, dude, you're on a G-rated show. Watch where your hand is going, dude, okay? You're supposed to be an upcoming world champion? Hint, hint. So instead, you're like, hey, I'm scratching my crotch, yeah, like a rock star, yeah. I don't know what accent I'm doing there, but I don't give a shit. Anyway, this was a weird episode. I mean, like, again, the opening contest nobody gave a shit about. I mean, it's Justin Gabriel versus El Local. Pie eating contest, and then the Usos versus 3MB. And then the whole thing of, what are you thankful for? I mean, I know one of the episodes in December is going to be 3 days before Christmas, so yeah, I have a feeling we're going to get something with the third degree happening there. I haven't seen the episode yet, but it's a prediction. You had better Thanksgiving-themed episodes. You know, especially with, like, the food fights that would happen on SmackDown and everything. It's like pie thrown everywhere and matches around those. Those were more entertaining. This, not so much. I mean, it had maybe a slight chuckle, because, like, oh, our truest little Jimmy friend needs a seat. Okay. But then it's just like everything else was just pointless. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It always feels weird when you got these G-rated themes to all these episodes. I mean, sometimes they work, but not in this case. So let me know your thought in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's episode, folks, please remember, leave a like, subscribe with the bell turned on if you're listening to this on YouTube, or follow if you're listening to this podcast on any other service that this podcast is available on. And I'll catch you all in the next episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.